なんだこれ。どうなってるんだ。まさか。
They're heavily implying it's Kaito, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, somebody anyway, given the amount of blood. Well, we kind of gotta see, does Koichi show up? I was interested in being dragged from the... No, of course it's obvious why it's crushed him. He was already dead.
Where's Kokichi?
He's not going to show up till the last minute, is he? To give even more... he's not going to have done it then, oh, for fuck's sake. Who the fuck did it? So yeah, I guess we're just going straight into it then. Yeah.
そうだよ。なんじゃと。違う。
Of course, we're still assuming that Kokichi is still alive. You got detective shit now.
ちょっと。うるさい。
なぜ？ね
え。
そうです。
おのれ。いや。は？
Is there any other place you could have gotten a body from to do this? But I also don't see how Kaito would be alive. And also the game wouldn't trigger if it was another body. It would have to be something new.
Can we please open the damn press?
I'm not sure we're gonna find much. But also, we're going back into coward mode now. After hardening the fuck up. We have de-hardened. Himiko, did you do it?
ねえ。まさか。だってさ。
You watch, the fucking file isn't gonna tell us who it is either.
Of course it's not gonna tell you.
Shit, well that means the point's up for... God damn it.
Game, don't make me undo the points.
わかりました。
でも。
ですが。
Except we just kill him anyway.
でも。だったら。
That's...
No, unless he... What if he's not the culprit? That's the problem.
では。
Well, because she's used to the people close to her dying, you know? That's
Yeah.
Really fucking
what
sad,
happens.
but that's the truth.
Yeah, so now she's just focused on getting that bastard. Whoever the bastard happens to
Yeah,
be.
we don't know who it is. All right,
Yes.
but we still have to guess who did it.
Yes. That's all the more fun of our game.
All right.
Who did it?
I haven't a fucking clue.
I have an idea, but I also think we've had enough setup in this game. It's going to strike against me, but it might not.
What's your guess then?
My guess is Kibo.
That'd be interesting. I think whichever one actually died, the other did it. But
Well, you
that's
can't
the
put that
problem.
down.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, that's not fair. They're implying that it's Kaito that died, but I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. Which does mean we lose a point.
Okay, I've convinced myself that Kaito isn't actually dead. Should I just say he did it, too?
And you could say he did it, yeah.
Because then if he didn't do it and he's also not dead, then I get no points. But that seems so incredibly unlikely to me. I'll just say he did it. Fuck it.
Okay. And fuck it, I'll stick with Kibo as doing it. Because if it's not those two, and I don't think it's Kokichi, I still don't think he's actually done this.
Yeah.
Watch be Himiko now.
That would be fucked. That'd be so fucked. If it'd be Himiko or Tsurugi, that'd be so fucked.
どうでもいいよ。
Could it be Maki?
I don't think so.
I don't think
I don't
so
see it.
either. Yeah.
決まりだね。
Why would Maki make it look like Kaito is dead?
Maybe she tried to do a Kaede thing and get Kokichi, but got Kaito on accident.
I'm not seeing that from the professional killer. However, she could be moving herself in the direction of the sus list.
I mean, I pray to God she didn't do it, but it's not
I mean,
impossible.
it's one of the better options I got for points. So.
僕はやめて。
Oof.
わからない？はあ。
Well, looks like we gotta get good now. Actually do some detective shit.
She's acting irrational because Kaito died. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Or she believes Kaito died, at least. Okay, there's a trail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which makes sense. That's where he was. And that's why I'm thinking he was... Whoever's in there was killed, and that's how the press was allowed to function. The press wasn't the murder weapon.
Yeah.
Which also means whoever did murder intentionally went out of their way to hide who was in the press.
いや。
So there could be a lot of logic, and I may have been premature in marking the points for Kaito being killed. Because looking at it now, it's definitely Koichi's been killed here. What if Koichi has been killed? But that doesn't mean Kaito has survived either. What if Kaito is dead?
Hmm.
Then my side here is alive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No balls, do it. The bit, your balls. Do it.
It's Maki shouting from outside.
あれ
It's like, I know I wasn't going to help you, but come on.
どうして
Okay.
Ah. Clever.
Which is what you would do if you really wanted to hide who was in there. But why would Kaito do that? That's the side thing that doesn't add up. Because surely, like, we're literally making the point in the last scene that
Yeah.
he's not smart enough to consider the possibility that Kokichi wasn't a mastermind and that the killing game wouldn't continue. Surely, if Kaito did kill Kokichi, he would have just assumed the game's over and probably just walked out the hangar and got himself killed by Monokuma.
ま
But in that case, we wouldn't have a class trial either, would we?
Right.
So he said that the hammer could disable the lock.
貝原よ
Yeah.
Who didn't bring their hammer today?
Maki.
Yeah.
うちの魔法で
Aaron, he's really thinking along the right lines here.
It's starting to seem like, yeah, with the hammer thing. She did something,
that-
didn't she?
Yeah. She's had some involvement in this.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't...
How to
And also, why would she do this? She's logical, right? She may not be acting entirely logical now, but it's kind of understandable what's going on.
Yeah.
But why would she have tried to single-handedly do this when we already had a plan of attack? Why at night? That's what doesn't make sense. If you're going to be rational, you'd probably done it earlier. Trail then.
Crossbow.
But the trail is not solid. That's just him coughing. It's not the same as the trail we saw outside, is it?
Right.
Did Maki give him the crossbow?
No, we took it back apart. Oh, she might have given it to him through the vent.
And he could assemble it on the inside and use that to kill Koichi. And is this all partially why Maki doesn't seem to be entirely giving it that much of a shit, because she knows that's not him in there.
Yeah.
But she may know that he's...
But she's trying to get him out then? Well, what's the point of her?
Are they all now kind of surprised at the killing? Has she actually been caught off guard by the fact that the killing game has continued?
Yeah.
Maybe she was expecting that we'd blast our way through the hangar and be like, "Ooh, whoops."
ま
But then why would you make it look like? Or maybe it was the realization when they did kill last night, when they killed him, and realizing, oh wait, he wasn't actually the mastermind. Oh shit, we're probably going to have to do in trial. And then, deciding, well, I guess we gotta play the game.
Yeah, but how would they have known the game was continuing?
Probably when Monokuma walked in the door. I don't know.
Well, we didn't have the announcement until. Maki couldn't have gotten in unless she could fit through this thing. But
no, but if she gave a crossbow through to Kaito and he came back like a minute later saying, "Yeah, I ganked him." Now what? And then Monokuma just shows up behind, like, "Oh, thank God you did that." Anyway, moving on with our lives.
Sabaki just thought she was just gonna be gone, and
yeah, well,
that was her shock when we got in here, was realizing that the game is still going.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna get so fucked up by this. Oh no.
Well, Kaito must have also realized it. Otherwise, why would you stage it to make it look like that you've been killed.
えっと
Unless both of them are under the press. Did he commit suicide?
How could he have done that?
So you lay Kokichi under the press, you get in next to him, you set the press off.
With
The
what?
press is stopped because you're alive. You set the press off. It wasn't particularly fast. You set the press off, you run underneath it, the press will stop because of the safety system. But if you were to kill yourself in that position, well, once you're dead, the press will just carry on.
That would be pretty fucked up. Why would he kill himself?
That's the bit that doesn't fully make sense. Unless he's trying to give Maki an out. Having realised that the game is going to continue and everyone's going to get killed if they can't solve it. Seems a bit rash.
How would they give Maki an out, though?
Because she would be able to figure out the easiest what's going on.
Yeah, but then she would have to tell her. Then she would die too, though.
確か
Unless she is able to get credit for this murder.
I don't think she could.
That's not what the point. That's it, yeah. If Kaito kills himself, he can't do that. Unless they've set this up so that technically she killed him. So I imagine the poison didn't help with that, with his normal condition. But it's interesting that the bolts are there. Oh, it's moved.
What did you do?
I just want to play with the robot. You insulted my file.
ねやれやれふむあのね
Oof.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, that was
Wait,
it.
that was it?
いや
For the TV show that this probably is.
Yeah.
Well, to who though? I don't know. But...
Well, that's it. There's no one left.
でも
Why did it move?
I don't know.
We're gonna ignore that.
Yeah. Have we looked at the blood trail itself yet?
I don't think we could.
Do we not? That's all it was. We hovered over it.
いや黙れそうじゃ
Oh no.
Wait, that actually be kind of cool. Do it.
よし
Oh, we found a keyboard.
あのさ
I went to talk to him, but he didn't say much for some reason. Also, he's covered in blood and a crossbow bolt in his forehead. Was that related?
えっと
はい
え
あの
Eh?
あれは
Where's
僕
the
が自分の
bag?
研究教室で大間くんを説得するための文章を考えていた時なのですが 彼女がこの格納庫に向かっていくのが見えました。しかもその手には黒い袋のようなものを持っていました。
黒い袋のようなもの。
僕はですがなぜ。
そうだね。あのさ、
Hey, is this case gonna end up being constructed that we're gonna end up sus of everyone?
Yeah, probably.
いえ、
Or because Maki is truly a genius and she did this in such a way that she could incriminate everyone in the process, except Shuichi. It'll turn out that Tsumugi was the one who started the press as well.
あの
We end up having to execute everyone else, and Shuichi's just the only one left in chapter 6.
Keep in mind too, Maki seemed pretty surprised when we told her that we went and talked to Kaito.
Yeah.
やはりですが
Maybe she was surprised she didn't see all the other shit that was apparently going on.
つまり
Should we
So
go?
robophobia is the motivation. Got it.
Okay, let's.
Did you check the shutter?
やっぱり。
Right, but if you wanted to pass it back through, you could do that. That's important in itself, then.
Yeah, that means nobody came in through here at least.
Nobody came in except whoever was in the exit still.
Yeah.
But that would then also, that could imply that they didn't leave whoever went in, unless it is possible to have a lock behind you.
I mean, you can leave if you killed. If that's Kokichi, you could get the button back.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would make sense. Yeah, if you have killed Koichi, yeah, you got ways out. You could even use one of the bombs if the remote is missing or destroyed. I mean, we're taking Maki at her word that she only had one of them.
Mm-hmm. Why would she need more
She-
than just the one now? If she was in the exit soul.
To get out, I'm thinking.
Well, to get out, she
'Cause
has
they
the
all-
button after they killed Kokichi.
Yeah, I'm saying if she didn't get the button, she would still be able. Like, that's not. If she doesn't have the button, that's not going to prove her innocence, is what I'm saying. The button obviously would be the easy option,
Yeah.
but she still has others. I'm like thinking a step or two ahead on this for when the game goes, haha, no. She couldn't do that. And of course, that doesn't have to be Maki that stole it. Whoever went in there could have done that. The control panel for the door as well.
I already did
That was
that.
all scratched up. Did we?
Oh, I do it again. I thought I
I
did.
thought-
Yes, I didn't. No, my bad. We did not. I was thinking the first time. I'm an idiot.
そうだな。
Did Maki try and stab it?
Shit. This actually could have been Maki just straight up. But again, why would she? I mean,
This is going to be an interesting part. Why has
because
the
as soon as
control
she
panel
realized the
been
game was
attacked?
still going on, then that's why she would act like this.
Yeah. Which does suggest that Kokichi was killed first, and whoever killed him realized, oh crap, Monokuma's still doing the thing, so we gotta do the thing now.
でも、
Which is quite savage if you think about it, because if their plan works, they will kill the remainder of humanity and be the only person left alive.
よし。
I can see why she would be motivated to free Kaito, but... That's the other problem, that I really don't fucking want her to die.
You know where? Yeah, I was gonna say where the X's were.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Ah, okay.
Aha!
Why would she leave this shit behind? Like, 'cause she didn't think it would matter, but still,
I sloppy though. Why? No, because clearly someone figured out it would matter.
あのさ確か
Because if you didn't think it would matter, you wouldn't put anybody in the press. You would just leave it there because you'd like, well, we're done here. And, you know, explain to everyone else that, hey, I did a thing. Also, you still think they're protecting him. They're not protecting him. They were imprisoning him.
ムキーっていうかさえうぷぷそうはそうはやだなおいだって
What?
ちょっと
Here?
ああのねえまああのさあのねいやふむ おい
That person is probably the murderer.
はーいそうそう
it's looking like Maki showed up, used the hammer on that one exisal to get into it, to go in there.
Yeah. And probably in the process, when she came back, was like, oh, why is Monokuma still doing a thing, and what's this? Yeah.
But that doesn't mean she actually killed anybody, though.
ポップだね
No.
What?
Well, good to see Monokuma still alive and kicking.
That's definitely why Maki is not cooperating. Because that means either she did it, or Kaito did it. And she doesn't want to admit that
Yeah.
Kaito did it.
Yeah.
It's seeming like
Yeah, it was
Himiko's the
Tree.
one that brought it over then.
The thing is, Himiko would have no way of knowing to bring that, as she wasn't, you know, how would she know unless either Kaito or Maki had told her? And us, of course, but we're assuming that our perspective is being consistent.
そうだな
Which of course explains why Himiko is being a bit, you know, shady about what's going on.
いや
Did everybody do this plan? Except us? Is everybody involved?
Well, we haven't found a way to link Samuki to it, really, have we? And to be fair, Kibo has just so far been a witness to what's going on, but then again, he did admit to going in there, so I don't know. If anything, he's been too open, it feels like.
Yeah. Look at all these guns. Okay.
They don't hit the same way as the chickens did. Alright, and now we have to go all the way upstairs to us. So on the next dead, right? Given, I think we're looking fairly sure that both of them are dead, if any of them are dead, right?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, but
If Kaito is one of them, we get 1 point. That's all.
that's what I was going to question. We said next dead. It's very specific.
Ah, shit. I get your point.
What if Kokichi was killed? If Kokichi was proven to be killed first, do we get that point?
I would argue no, we don't then, yeah.
Yeah.
But we get the point if we figure out that Kaito did kill Kokichi.
Well, you get other points.
I'm sorry, I would.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously that's its own thing, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of that specific point. Is it gonna make convenient gaps? Oh, look at that. Mm-hmm.
Is this how he would kill himself and put himself under the press?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why would
That would
Kaito
make sense.
kill himself though? That's just so weird to me.
What if Maki did get into the hangar and she was the one who pushed the button?
That could be it.
Crossbow bolts are weird though. Why is there one? Why is there a hole in his coat though?
I wonder if some sort of like fight happened and he got hit. Maki was the one using the crossbow. Like Kaito put it together, intended to use it for whatever reason. Somehow there's like a fight and then Maki got a hold of the crossbow and accidentally hit Kaito.
Well, that would involve Maki to be in the hangar when Kokichi was still alive.
I mean, she could have been with the Exisal. We could have multiple plans going on at the same time here.
But why would Himiko have brought the crossbow?
That's the interesting part.
Because she doesn't have the knowledge. She would have to be told by somebody to do that.
Maybe Kaito told her to.
Yeah, that could be something. Yeah.
Kaito told her to do that. That was his plan. But then Maki showed up, and probably inadvertently fucked it all up.
Hmm.
Now the poison though.
That's the thing. He would have to take the poison. Why would he do that? He would have to agree to that after the plan got fucked. And where are these out?
Okay.
Okay. Why would you get the antidote out if you were committing suicide?
Yosh.
The Strike 9 poison, how did it say it had to be taken? Or did it make any
Said ingested.
say... Okay. Okay, I was just thinking, was the crossbow bolt poisoned, or did you have to...
Did the poison and antidote have to do with Maki's plan or something?
That'd be an interesting plan. Why would you...
I don't know. That sounds like something an assassin would do. Just have poison ready on him.
Like, that part makes sense, but why the antidote?
Kind of funny too that for the first 2 cases, Maki just didn't participate. So nobody would think she's sus because she didn't do anything, but now she's not participating, and it makes her look sus.
Mm-hmm. Incredibly sus.
God damn it, Maki. I mean, again, she's not acting logical right now at all.
And that's part of
the
what makes you
problem.
suspicious. Yeah. Because there was a logic previously to it. And now there isn't. Himiko's kind of doing the same thing as well. We kind of know why. So watch it be Kibo somehow.
Hey, you thought for sure he's getting killed, so.
Yeah. He's not living.
He's not living. There's no way.
No. This game will not have 2 pink sweater girls.
He's not a pink sweater girl. He's been helpful.
Yeah, he has to be fair.
He was crucial.
He's also
in...
not living.
What case was it he was crucial in? Where he had the picture?
Yeah.
I forget which one that was already.
Was that Kirumi's one?
I think so. Probably not that.
Yeah, probably in the hangar. Looks like Kibo's gone inside.
Oh, my
Yeah, everyone has returned.
犀原君、
どうしたの？
This toilet looks like an engine.
Truth bullet added.
The toilet indeed does look like an engine.
I gotta
Also-
say, there's not much point in talking to them there, so.
Oh, what's in the toilet?
That's Kokichi's
あの
clothes.
さ、
Yeah.
はい
Not only is the toilet an engine, it's closing it.
でも
So Himiko's right, he is running around buck naked.
それが
As you do.
Yeah.
You've done good.
What the fuck? The hell is that?
He's very insistent. But also, if he's kind of in his... This move alone, I think, has now cleared him. Unless it's a double bluff where
No.
you want the people to notice, but no.
I don't think it's Kibo. I agree with you, that's
It's
not
not.
Tsumugi either.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's Himiko. Because I can't see how she planned this.
よし。
Which means it's Maki.
あれ？
Mm-hmm. And there. Why is the third one in Kaito's coat then?
The only thing I can think of, right? Maki obviously has something to do with this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking she got there after Kaito had already killed Kokichi, and now she's just trying to help Kaito live. That's the only thing I can think of. So she just does everything she can to make it look like, yeah,
So Kaito is somewhere alive.
he's hiding.
And somehow he's going to try and avoid showing up at the class trial, but Monokuma's not going to allow that. And if Kaito shows up at the trial, then his case closed. Yeah, that's the whole problem
Well,
with
then
that plan.
Maki can still argue,
Who did
Yeah.
it?
try to convince everybody that she did it, maybe. I don't know.
ありがとう。
She's not going to be rational. She just isn't going to be. She's...
And I don't see why Kaito would agree to this plan knowing that he does not have long to live anyway.
Yeah.
He wouldn't agree to the plan if it's to save him. He would agree to the plan if it was to save Maki, which means Maki did it.
Shit.
Because if Kaito did it, the plan here would be make sure it is abundantly clear. I mean, he wouldn't be hiding. He would just straight out come like, yeah, I did this. Look, here's his body. I did it. Believe me. And he'd be just trying to make us believe him that he did it.
え？
Ugh.
But yeah, so where could Kaito hide that he wouldn't have to be dragged into the trial?
と
Unless he's going to be dragged into the trial and it's going to be like, well, this is awkward.
そっか。
That doesn't sound like something they do in this game.
もしかして
Yeah, okay.
Well, he was...
Perhaps it's like a defending his honor thing that Maki is doing right now.
Eh?
And he did just kill himself and...
And she just wants us to go through the rigmarole anyway, even though she knows what the answer is and does how to save everyone.
なんか
But she might still be in despair too because the outside world's still fucked, right? We don't know how she's
Yeah.
thinking about that.
地味に
Well, why bother going through this process? You know, you could just be like, look, you know, Kaito did it. Grand, we can all agree with that. Let's move on. We get through the trial in like 2 minutes, do it, and then we go and off ourselves carefully and, you know, on our own volition, rather than going through whatever execution is lined up for them all. But unless she is so illogical that somehow she's going to use the execution as the way of killing herself and everyone. And I guess no one else has anything good to say.
時間ですよ
But she definitely only wanted to kill Kokichi.
Yeah, I think that's
She
reasonable.
didn't want to
and
have
rational.
to kill anybody else. She never implied that she wanted to kill anybody else.
Yeah,
そう希望と絶望いつものように中庭にある砂漠
but is that part of what we've been misled
集
on?
まらないとダメだよ集まらない生徒は誰であろうと
Because if you want to give that impression, she's done all the groundwork perfectly to give that impression.
Mm-hmm.
次はどんな絶望がお前らを待ってるのかな
I think we're going to get some good despair at this one.
じゃあ
I don't think we will. I think we'll find both of them are dead.
Not the toilet. That's a rude thing to call Himiko, but I mean, whatever, game.
あれ
The game can be savage at times.
Yeah.
どうせ
Uh-huh. No, he can't be there. That's not how the door to the trial room works.
いや殺されたいのあのさ わからない
She's acting irrational for her, but rational in a different way, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is really weird.
当たり前だよ
Right.
What's she trying to say here with this? But she may have just given the hint there, in that all she cares about is actually just defeating Kokichi. And what would she sacrifice for that? Also, is this the smallest group then we'll have ended up
ク
with?
ソ野郎
Didn't 6 to 5 survive the first game?
5 survived the second game.
Okay, so we could be down to that level again then.
あの
Unless, well, both of them are dead, and someone else is the murderer, or the blackened, we would be down to 4. Which is a real awkward number for a killing game. This elevator is really fucking empty now.
Mm-hmm.
「
Well, the end here.
This looks kind of like the first game.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you.
なんで
Work that one out.
Yeah, this is just the first game of Nate.
Yeah.
うぷぷなんじゃ
いいえやるしかありませんね
まったく
Guys, for fuck's sake.
うるさい
He's dead. Unfortunately, Kaito wasn't here either, so... Yeah.
はいはい
This could be a thing too that Maki thinks she knows what's happened, but she's wrong, right?
Unless she is trying to cover up what's happened.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to determine. Who is covering up what's going on?
Hibiko has something, clearly did something that she's covering for.
Yeah.
Really sounds like Maki is covering for shit too. Sasmugi and Kibo seem the only ones completely innocent here. Well, and us. Purple,
Yeah.
I like that.
It's like,
Ambiguous.
He's in purgatory at the moment.
Whoa, I'm purple.
I gotta be honest, we see more convincing evidence that he has been killed, the Kokichi,
Yeah.
with finding his clothes like that.